Hey guys, welcome back. Y'all hear me okay? I assume 555. Michael G, I saw you were the first one in here. Let me see who we got in here today. Let's see. Woman of Spirit, Saffron. She's a wildflower. Hey Grizz, Betty, how you doing? Doctor, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. I don't want to butcher it, but welcome. Hey Miss Sharon, Huckleberry. Hey Steven. Hey Tiger. Thanks for the 5x5s, guys. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. We went out and put our hey Tammy our wildflowers for our hey Tara and our pollinators and stuff. We're getting all that in. So we did that a little bit today. It's been colder after it's in the 70s. We've had a bit of a cold front, so you know. But we're getting ready for our bees and putting all our everything that's in the greenhouse inside that's we've been growing. We'll get that out soon also. So hey Colleen. So we've just been kind of doing the things. Some of it's hurry up and wait. It feels like at that time when you have these rush things we have to get done, and then you have to kind of pause and wait. So hey Joni, hey Sandy. Chaos Prepper. Hey guys, how you doing? So, a couple things I want to bring up. We all know, which absolutely disgusts me. We hear it nonstop, and which I think we should because they are trying to, pass it off, sweep it underneath the rug. No big deal about what happened in Ohio. That continues. It goes on, and not just there, which that one is very massive in my opinion. We have Florida, Arizona, Texas, South Carolina, different things, different derailments. Detroit also, and then we had these like a plastic it was like a warehouse type plant or something like that, and Florida went up. We know how these cycles they go. It's never, this isn't coincidence. It's just not. We know they go in these weird cycles. We had, we kept having the poultry, kept having, the food warehouses, the food plants. We know how it goes. So we've been having all that. A couple things I want to touch on about that. So, of course, we had heard that, old Joe and his administration said they wouldn't be helping Ohio. Oh, okay. How could they? All of it's gone over to Ukraine, right? FEMA also said that they reported back that they didn't qualify as a national disaster, and FEMA turned down the request for federal disaster assistance from the Ohio governor, Mike DeWine, I believe is his name. So that went on. I have my opinions. I'm sure we all have our opinions about the setup. I said what I said about that. But I do want to I want to share an observation. And this you can check these things out. CDC website, they have things up there. You can go check it out yourself. 2 weeks prior to that derailment. And I'm looking at it right now. You can go look at the CDC. I have it on my phone because, they updated the profile for vinyl chloride 2 weeks prior to that derailment. Okay. And they updated and removed sections on the effects that has. That's all I'm going to say about that. But you can look it up. So there you go. Because, those people in that area, and not just that immediate area, it goes further out, are being told everything's fine, safe, don't worry about it. Oh, don't worry about the dead fish and chickens and wildlife and the symptoms you're having. That's fine. So that, we always keep an eye on things like that. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of chat. If I missed you, hey, Sergeant Deacon, how are you? Eclectic Basil, welcome. How are you? Montana Nana. So moving along, but yeah, keep an eye on things like that. And it's, a lot further out than, of course it is what they're saying. I know that they've been doing testing sites. I talked about this before. They're doing testing sites further and further down from that water. Hey, prepping artist. Lady Smith, how are you? If I've missed you, I'm sorry. And I'll go squirrel. I'll be watching this and then I'll go squirrel. The water. the water supply, and then there's at the end of that Ohio thing where it kind of joins in and meets there at the Mississippi. It's hush hush. You have to dig more for this because they're trying to keep all this quiet. Of course they are. At that opening where that meets at the Mississippi, I've talked about this. They are finding problems there, and the more they keep burning and spreading it, and we're just burning it off. Oh, we're burning it off. This for your good. We're burning this off. They keep relighting that and doing it. Talked about that. There's several people talking about that. They know what they're doing. Sure, I'm missing people. Hey, Sicilian girl, how are you? Chaos Prepper or Chaos Prepper Yard Bird, how are you? Hey, Southern Mimi. I'm worried. I am really worried about this. I'm worried about the people up there. There's an ambulance going by. I'm just worried further out and in the long term. And I mean, of course, we say, well, if I was there, if I was in the area or whatever, I personally, even myself, I'd be like, I'd be out of there as soon as I could. I wouldn't care what I had to do. But I understand that's also not always feasible. What are these people? This is horrific. And this is, in my opinion, just a start. And we know there are angles of why they do these things. So there's that. But check, you can always check. I always watch the CDC. They put things out. You may have to look a little bit, know where to look for things. But they did that before. Before all this other stuff started last 2-3 years ago, they would remove and change things. They do it all the time. And that's why you use that as a reference, not so much as go by those guidelines. That's not what I'm talking about. But hey, Snoopy, it's also that like anything else, you can kind of read between the lines when they do these things. Something's about to come, something's about to happen, or what they're doing. So moving along from that, have y'all seen the Elon Neuralink? Have you seen the latest about that? So we know what he does, what he wants, what he goes along with, which is strange with him because he'll play both sides of the fence about things like that. But I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, that his company, that Neuralink, this in quotations and stuff. If you want the article to this and stuff, email me. I'll get it to you. He wants to start, they're doing their own chips for the brain in people. They announced in this last December, 2022, that the company plans to initiate human trials within 6 months. So they've already been doing that in animals and stuff. So 6 months from December, they are having a trial run of that. Now, I've vaguely talked about here and there my opinion about AI and what I think that's one of our biggest threats on many different levels. And my opinion, that link of AI and I'll say biblical senses. That's my opinion. So, that what could possibly go wrong with that, putting those in people. So let me make sure if I keep on going, I haven't missed anything. And yeah. Oh, hey, Versatech. I didn't see you sneak in here. I'm sorry. Yeah, everything's going to Ukraine. Hey, Pilgrim. Yes, Beaverines, give him a shout out. Yeah, I mean, this is true. I mean, we don't know. I mean, our situations. I mean, I couldn't just like, oh, I'm just going to pick up and whatever. But I mean, I think I would try to flee. I think I would try to. I mean, but I understand you may not be able to. But I am very concerned about, well, of course, the more immediate area. But the way that's going out. Why I'm speaking on this, there's a website you can go to. It's called windy.com, windy.com. We watch that all the time, and it's going to show, and there's lots of different tabs on the sides you can go to, and it'll show like the air quality, the air moving in your area, where it's coming from, because I watched that because I wanted to see, and different things have gone before, is that air from up there, is it circulating down to my area? Is it going to be is the wind jet stream storms, anything going to be bringing that. And it'll do different things about contamination, your air quality, different things. I just think it's a good little tool to have. It kind of gives you a heads up. You can watch, and it'll be color coded for areas that are maybe having some problems. And you'll go through it, play around with it. You'll see different tabs on the side to look for different things. But it's windy.com. I would check that out. I've sent it to several people, especially in that area or that out the states kind of surrounding that, because it'll show where that's going to blow to. I think it's helpful for that. Hey, Blue Lou 777, welcome. I think so. I've said this before. I do not think something about him is not human. He already has that thing going on. I don't know what it is. Just everything about him, his structure, the way he something's up with that. Oh yeah, prepping ours. Oh yeah, this is all biblical. I talk about that all the time. All of this is biblically playing out, and it's going to have to happen. And maybe because I have that, don't get me wrong. Do I have like worries or concerns, or I have sense of urgencies at different times? Of course. And I don't want anything to happen to anyone or my family or myself. I don't want to suffer along the way, but I do believe all this is coming to pass. Hey, Dusty Country Road. Hope you've snuck in here. But I'm trying to make sure I don't get too fine. Yeah, you should always have your go bags. You should always have your go bags, your get home bags, one in the car. Don't leave home without it. And those drills, they say, what do you need to be able to leave within 15 minutes? If you had to get whatever you were going to take, whatever you're going to grab, even if you had to leave temporarily until things kind of settled. But I don't know. They have messed up Ohio, and that farming land is going to come a long time. There's a lot of people we've talked about since this has gone on. We have lots of different opinions about what they could be doing or why. Is this kind of one? Of course, we know certain obvious things about destroying things and every, casualties they'll cause through that, and providing for yourself in the farmland and the water. On the list goes on and on of the evil of it. But is that also these things where they're going to try to? We've talked before when they would have different fires or different things, and that is one of my concerns about being rural. Is are they trying to destroy those rural areas? That's how they're going to start moving people to locate them where they want. Lots of, if they know what they're doing. He does. You can look at different things. So does, I don't know. Can I say his name on there or just put it up here? Because that one, I just don't think they're human. That's just, something's up with them. Yeah, he doesn't sound or look normal. And if you ever look at like how his trunk and chest cavity and everything look, and I don't know, it's just weird. All of them. I don't know. Let's see about, the water is always worry about water, for different reasons. A lot of different things. I worry, and it all ends up connecting, right? At some point. Yeah, it has to. I'm probably far behind in chat. All of this, it has to come to pass. Let me see. There was something else. Something else happened, and I can't remember. And I saw it earlier this morning. Something happened a month before the derailment in Ohio. I cannot remember what it was though now, and it kind of fit into that. It was kind of weird. I mean, aside from the CDC thing. Okay, yeah, I've been hearing more and more of these are keeping quiet. And the plastics and everything is horrific anyways. Yeah. Yeah, that's what big thing is staying gassed up. Oh, hey Pop, baby, when'd you get in here? Yeah, the food. Well, I mean, those different um those different maps and different listings of all those things. Oh, you're talking about what will be affected. Okay, I read in that. Um, yeah, they know what they're doing, collapsing. Same thing with the poultry and everything else. It's all just moves in their game. There was another map. I think I've talked about it before. I think I talked about it here. Maybe I talked about it on LTF. I'm not sure. But there is a map out. Maybe I'll put it on my community tab. There is a thing out and it has where the government owns all these areas of subsurface land. And the areas that and there's a large amount. And the areas that it is almost comical because um they own everything underneath there. All like a lot of them is if it's the springs and different things in different areas, they own all that now. So they just own the subsurfaces. That's a map thing I was looking at last couple of weeks as well. Since Pop B brought up about maps, it made me think about it. It's just windy.com, any of them, and then you can put in your location. Everyone can put in their own location or whatever. It's a good map to see. Oh no, anything that we have to, they got to keep us dependent on them. Hey, True American Loretta, how are you? Oh yeah, yes, they are having more and more people talking about they're getting sores and these weird rashes. I've been hearing about the throat stuff, nosebleed, headaches. I've been hearing a lot of that. But as far as the government concerned, that's safe and normal and you're fine, right? But yeah, I've been reading more and more people are coming out and saying it, and they need to. They need to come out and say stuff. Um, oh yeah. Um, yes, it's called. Is it? Oh, I maybe I had it saved on here. It was called My ID. Is that the same thing in Montana, Nana? It's called. It was like a month before this happened. They switched their emergency system to My ID. Look that up if that's the same thing. That did remind. Thank you so much. Um. Oh, really? See, and they're having tons of them, and some of the ones that are burning, I'm like, it wouldn't be like, oh, this is affecting, like when all the poultry things were going out. It has to be a chemical release things because of things, in my opinion, because it has to do a lot to do with chemical type things that are going up. Um, oh yeah, everything. It's gonna be a long time, and it'll take years and years and years and years to get any of that stuff completely and I mean, long time out of the ground, the soil, everything. Have you been seeing those pictures, which they keep taking mine down off of even other platforms, and it looks almost like an acid rain, especially right after it happened. And that's going to happen. What I've talked about that before, things evaporate up, they're going to come back down. That's why rainwater, most of it tests positive for things like Roundup. It's the same thing. Oh, Nestle's they're a piece of work too. Um, I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up, but that is a lot. That's what's been. Hey, Papa's Farm. Yeah, hey, Loretta. Yeah, I have to listen and do what I'm doing all the time, also. So, okay, I think I'm all caught up. But that is heaviest on my mind. I actually do have some family up in Ohio, not originally from there. They've lived there for several years now. They're good amount from it. but I'm very concerned. I'm concerned for a um, long time. And this isn't the end of it. I think this is just the start of a lot of things that are going to continue. Yes, we've seen several just since then, right prior to that aren't getting a lot of attention. And so my thing is when there's things they're trying to hush and they're not giving a lot of attention, I don't see those as the distractions. The stuff that they're putting front and center and trying to shove in your face nonstop are more the distractions. I mean, like I talk about all the time, is trying to weed through, what is worth your time and energy and attention and what is not. Yeah, Mad Chad. Hey, welcome. If I didn't see you in here. Yeah, the rain that's coming down afterwards, and all the people losing their, and especially birds, wild birds, not just their chickens, everything. They're very sensitive to anything like that. Any like the ammonia, anything in the air, they're very sensitive to things like that. Yeah, I agree. They're not. Where are they? So to me, that's why I don't think stuff like this is a distraction. Because if it was, it would be so hyped up, and they would put on all these theatricals like they do about other things, and they're not. I think this is part of their moves for their agenda. This is part of what they need to do, and they don't want to bring a lot of stuff. They don't want to, put it right front and center. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff's been, tested. It comes up positive for so many things, and what it's doing it all comes down, it comes down the rain. They usually do that really heavily right before it does rain, because if you look into how all that works. Hey, Allison, welcome. Oh, hey, Betty, I was saying about the water. Oh yeah, all these attacks. We talk about their playbooks and everything. They're way more patient, and they've been going on more than what we are. They kind of lay low and patient and know that they have to take these steps at these certain times in certain orders, and they wait. So much of this has been so long in the making. Yeah, I mean, I know natural things happen, but like a lot of things been going on. You can tell when something isn't natural. Accidents happen, disasters happen, everything. But you would a lot of it, like I've said this before. Don't insult me to think that I'm going to believe the mess that they're spewing out. I don't know who believes the stuff that they're saying and the excuses and reasons, and really. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know how you can't see it at this point. Yeah, you always got to watch those things. Oh, look who's in the house. I'm telling you what, if you want to laugh, like I said last night. Welcome Tennessee. Taco. TT1. And yes, you're correct. I completely agree on that. TT1 is is part of my mental prepping, wellness, health, and everything. He's so funny. He is. I go watch him every Saturday. If you don't know his channel, go check it out. Throw your links down there. Oh yeah, and speaking of FEMA and different help, like government, federal, different help that will come in different places. There can be somewhere it just has a little bit of water, and you live in those type of areas, and they got FEMA help. They have federal grants. I live in one of those states that does that so easily. I was floored that they didn't even try to play the game, play the part, save face or anything, and give these people help. I absolutely cannot believe that. Probably, yeah. And like I said, and that to me is exactly why this part of what's going on with all the stuff is not one of the, okay, put this on the list of distractions. It isn't, and it's way more than what we all. The worst of what we do know. It's way worse than I'm sure than what we know. Yep, that's exactly it. I think they want to, and they want to, because there's a lot of Amish stuff up there too, and it'll seep that way. People are like, oh, well, not right there in that town. Well, it's going to keep going on through the air, through the water, through the soil, on and on. The farming. It doesn't matter if it's local small farms, if it's larger farms, if it's the Amish communities, rural things. Um, we've talked about all that. Um, Yeah, you can tell. I've said this before. I've talked when there's heavy spraying, which there a lot of times is. We will feel it in our throat, especially if there's really heavy, spraying, and then it rains. Um, the rain when it rains, it starts making me. It'll do that, and it passes, and that's why I talk about making things part of your lifestyle as far as detoxing, immune support, and doing things like that, because we have to. Our bodies are really made to be pretty resilient, and it knows what to do. I talk about that all the time. But we still have to do when it's so bombarded and there's so much things coming against it. We still need to kind of help it out. Um, so just keep doing those things. And of course, if you're in an area or you feel these type of symptoms coming on, you need to kind of up that a little bit and help your body get, those things out. I don't trust them on nothing, much less take care of me. And I mean nothing. Oh no. Yeah. And it'll continue. And they do it in clusters. Oh, it's all the poultry. Oh, it's the food things. Oh, well, now it's, trained aromas. Oh, it's chemical plant. I mean, we see that um, in these clusters, how they do things. Hey, Mom Bear. That's okay. You can be late. Better late than never, right? Oh, he's on late. It's my late Saturday night. Our crazy times is that. Oh, and while we're on, let's put TT1 on the spot. Doesn't he have that kind of Jack Black vibe going on? I see him. He reminds me of Jack Black whenever I've told him that before. But he has that, the way he carries himself, he's his same thing. Oh, let's see. I'm hearing that the federal help has now been pulled back. You mean pulled? They're not going to do it? I haven't been hearing they're not going to do it. Is that what you're saying? That they're not? Um, oh, what is this? Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, you can go to CDC, except for what they removed, That that has been up there. Of course, all of those things they do. And there's going to be immediate, symptoms and feeling bad stuff, and then there's going to be long term. We saw that with a lot of different things. I will be careful what I say. Oh, because they're self sufficient, and they don't depend on them whatsoever. They can't stand that. Yeah, it goes through cycles. I think it's always bad around here. Um, isn't she? Miss Sharon is a gem. I just love her. Yeah, what is a beaverine? A beaverine is John over at Prepper Nation. Go check out his channel if you don't know him. He's absolutely great. Um, it that is kind of their mascot. That's his mascot, the beaverines. That's kind of somebody could probably put the details in there. Oh, Tiger. I told you. You'll get used to it, and then it won't phase you. It's worth it. Just get it down. Oh, don't worry about Tara. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. I'm just glad y'all are here. No, exactly, Huckleberry. That's how it always is. And when they throw where they throw their money and what they help and what they put their attention on things like that, that they do that. We know what that is. That should tell everybody. Hey, Marvin. Welcome. Hey, Deb. Oh, see, this is how far behind him. I'm telling you, he's he does. He reminds me of that. TT, did you get that? Speaking of that, did you get that? I sent you like a meme. I did like a picture collage. I put you and a character John Goodman plays when you had on your yellow glasses. That's all I see when you wear your yellow glasses now. You have that energy too, so. Oh yeah, see, Gmo, I think he's great. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I would think they would get enough backlash that they would have to save face. Go play the part and put up something. I mean, at least because how in the world they could deny them is beyond my comprehension, but I don't know. As far as I know, like the last thing I heard was old Joe and his admin said they want me in help, and FEMA told the Ohio governor that they didn't qualify. They turned them down. They turned them down for help. Yes. Yes, I am seeing that. I'm going to have to go through some of that. And when I watch my replay and the live chat comes up, usually takes about a day or several hours, it'll come up. Of course not. Because they have their, we know that is. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Sharon. I see all the links. I appreciate you so much. Absolutely. That is the bottom line root of all. Absolutely. Hey, Debbie Jackson. Glad you're here. Welcome. Yeah, throw it down. Put it in there. Go ahead. I welcome that. We are. I love my little community here. And I've said before, when you have a channel, there's with anything in life, you have the good and the bad, but the good far outweighs the bad. Doing this, I've met wonderful people on here. Exactly. Can you imagine what in the world has to happen to qualify at this point? We'll just identify as Ukraine. Maybe they'll qualify us then. I mean, that's awful. Truly. Yeah, all caps if it's a question, because I have to scan quickly because I'll get lost in or I'll just accidentally miss it. Did you? Oh, is that part of the My ID? Maybe. I don't know. Is it called My ID? They switched to that like a month before this. I think it was a month before that derailment happened. They had switched that, and that is all. We talk about these systems, these systems that they want to get everyone on, and then of course they got to create these scenarios. We have to do that. But well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's all our community. We're all doing this together. We're all in it together. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, we have a great queue, and I do. And Miss Sharon and I every week, I think Miss Sharon and I after doing live, we talk about this. I'm like, she's like, you have to always talk about my chat. I just have a really good chat community here. I appreciate all of you. I truly do. Well, let's put this out here. The Love Canal disaster cover up. Who remembers that? Thank you, Southern Mimi. I appreciate you. So what exactly? Maybe I don't remember this. When was it? Elaborate, Michael. Does anyone else remember it? Maybe refresh my memory if I don't know. I do. Well, everybody does. Thank you, Loretta. I appreciate you guys. Was it in 72? Ma Bear? I don't know. Or was it in the 80s? Well, now I'm curious. I'm going to have to write it down. Oh, I didn't know it was called that. Maybe I'm thinking about something different. I think they've probably done this several times, right? I do. I think I remember. And it wasn't, and did they have all the thing about the children and the birth defects and of course it was all the cancers and everything, but of course there's several that have been like that. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Hey, Auntie Jack, how are you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't think that was what it was called, but maybe it is. Yeah, I have. And they constantly do those things. Again, it's about money. Oh, let's throw a subdivision up here. All the money we can make. Just divide this up. Don't worry about what's in the ground. Oh, it's in the ground. They put house on that. And that's what the stuff in Ohio. That stuff is for a very long time is going to be leaching into and out of everything. 3 Mile Island. There's a lot of they do that because well, they don't care. Yeah, the cancer clusters. I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm thinking about. I love documentaries. Not to be like negative about the documentaries on those type of things, because knowledge is power, as I say. Absolutely, Snoopy, throw it down there. Absolutely, go ahead. I welcome all that. Hey, Hillbilly Homesteader, how are you? Yeah, throw y'all's links and stuff down there. I appreciate it. Oh yeah. I mean, just add that to the whole thing. It's everything except because in years from now, everything that when all these things are going to go on in Ohio and probably surrounding areas a little bit further, it's going to be everything but that. Same as this. It's going to be everything but that. Oh, I love that book. I love that era. I just do. I always used to swear to my grandmother. And even throughout my life, I was like, I was born in the wrong era. I'm such an old soul. But that is such a good book. Hey, Kayla and Grilla. No problem. Stay safe driving. Exactly. And, I'm one of those people, I don't consider it being, like negative or fear mongering or dwelling stuff. I'm just like, I would just rather just know. I cannot be like, oh, I'm just going to put on blinders. And if I don't know it, it's not going to bother me. Things will bother me more if I don't know. I want all the details. I want to know what's going on. And it doesn't freak me out that way. That's just how my personality is. Hey, Farmer Son, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, that's forever. That is horrific. The things that have gone on for decades with that. Don't even get me started. It's awful. And the thing is, a lot of these things are like, oh, we'll just quietly pay these families off. We'll just quietly pay them off. Don't y'all bring attention to it? Well, that money isn't going to fix the people who have passed or life changing or chronic issues forever from that. Wasn't there's something about feed or water given to dairy cattle that caused a lot. Yeah, that's been for a while. Are you talking about a particular incident or a particular time frame? Well, and I can, if you want to email me, I can give you an actual list. So and I did a video on this. My colloidal silver, I own a generator. It will more than pay for itself. I'm not affiliated with them. I've had it for a very, very long time. And it's called the Silver Edge because I could not afford to buy the amount of colloidal silver we use. It will really pay for itself. And then different supplements. I choose to use certain, brands. I try to make sure everything is never, don't use anything synthetic. That's that lab man. I trust nature more than mad scientists in labs. That's just how I am. I will, and everybody, please, if you have something, you can put your opinions or, things in there. You're welcome to email me and I will give you a list of ones that I personally use and do. That would be fine if you want that. Oh yeah. Just, the list, I could make a scroll and roll it out for the things that are going on. And which is part of that. I keep talking about this series I'm having to go through and I'm doing for, when I'm all done with it. I'm going to do a big, Liberty Tree Fellowship video. I absolutely cannot put it over here. And, the in-depth is horrific. It's even worse than I knew about a lot of it. Oh, yeah, throw it up there. Okay. Foxfire series. I don't know if I've heard of it. Like documentary stuff. I don't know. If you can't get it to come up, I don't know why it wouldn't. I always have it. Well, not, it may be in my life. I always have the link. It's in my it's on my page. The little icon will be up there on my kind of cover picture. I have links. I keep them in my descriptions of my videos. I'm not sure why it wouldn't work though. All of that stuff. There's constantly issues. Decades, generations of people with issues. It keeps going on. Kind of like that whole Agent Orange thing. How that worked. Let me see what you had to say. Oh, there's so many, yeah, in a lot of different areas in North Carolina. Let's talk about North Carolina and how it's a big hog farms here. The Red Dragon owns all those now, and I'm serious. And they do their pork. The amount of land that's owned over here by them, and the contamination that those cause in these waters and the dumping in a lot of chemical things. And I'm not talking about because it's just because you can do livestock safely and not cause the stuff they're doing. But look into that as well. Tons of stuff. Oh, I think they're. We know they're planning for that. All of this madness and chaos that's going on that doesn't seem connected. It is connected. It is always connected for their bigger game plan. And that's why I say if they're not talking it or trying to hush it down, blow, put it underneath the rug. It's not that big of a deal. That focus on that. The ones that they was like, I can't get away from this. They're shoving it in my throat, mainstream, and they're hyping it up. Those are usually distractions. That's my opinion and what I've usually seen come to pass. Oh yeah, anything to save a buck. They've been doing that for a while. I appreciate that. I have an old soul, truly. I mean, I just, I've just kind of always been that way, but I appreciate it. We all are chosen to be here. Josh and I talk about that all the time on things that we're here at this very time, seeing everything unfold for a reason. Oh, thank you. I'll have to look into that. I appreciate it. See, knowledge is power. Go check it out. And you'll see how it repeats and how they continually do these things. Yeah, they constantly do the dumping for stuff and how they just pump that into the waters and everything. It's ridiculous. And and then, you get these huge fish die-offs. You get the contaminated water. You get this flesh-eating bacteria. It just goes on and on and on. Oh, and it's now like everything else that has gone up since I have bought mine. But it will still pay for itself. And I am not affiliated with them. I'm not affiliated with them, but it's great. Yeah, I love my silver generator. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will look into stuff. Oh, okay. Maybe that kind of sounds familiar. Foxfire? I'll have to look it up. Well, of course, but I can't talk about that on here. But, I was talking to my husband earlier about that. The whole thing disgusts me in the fact that they did not have a choice. If you are grown, and I say it all the time, it doesn't matter what it is, you do what's best for you. I'm not trying to convince anyone to do anything or condemn anybody for doing anything. And I don't think anybody should do that for me either. You do what's best for you. When it comes to kids and that different things, they didn't have a choice. And, that bothers me. I'll say that. Because I care, because I know what's coming. I see what's happening. And I worry about that. Oh. Okay. Yeah, write things down, guys. Thank you, Sergeant Deacon. I do what I can. I appreciate every one of you. Hey, Teresa. Glad you're here. Just Josh. Where's that energy? I knew you were working on your truck, you told me. Yes. See? Yes, TT1. He gets it. Exactly. We have to be. I will. And I'll go down with my boots on. That's my personality, and I was set on this path for a reason. I'll have to go look some of these up. It's awful. See, those things have been going on. Like I say, they've been planning these different things, and they've been kind of doing that, mad scientists use us as lab rats for so long, decades. And then it becomes, about control and greed and money and power. And I mean, it has to be fueled by some type, an evilness, because who could treat anybody, mass amount of people at that also, like the things that they've been doing. But oh, okay, Loretta, take care. Don't burn dinner. Hey, Devil Dog. I don't know if I saw you come in here. Oh, is it only? Oh, yeah. reverse osmosis is good. You have to, with reverse osmosis, you need to make sure you add some stuff like once you get that water out, because it strips so much out of it. It can strip everything, when you drink it, it strips all the mineral. It can strip way too much out of it. You need to add something to that. Whether it's your Sole, I've had done a video on that, or you're adding like lemon, or if you have some pinch of baking soda, you need to add something back to that after a while, right before you drink it or consume it. Not every single time, because everything is so stripped out of it. But that is the only way to get certain things out. I am having this happen a lot, and I'm having people tell me that still, that they're getting on stuff and they're holding tons of comments. I don't know why. Not only in lives, I am going. If you're like creators, if you have that, you'll have a thing where they had held for review comments. They are holding ridiculous stuff. I'll go in there, there'll be like 20 or 30 comments held, and there was nothing in there that seemed like a trigger. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, Preppinors, I'll enjoy. I'm still praying about your water situation. Hey, Violet Flowers. I'm not sure if I said hi to you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you. Let me see. Do you all see? Just got 300 jars, all sizes. Oh, you're doing the things though, right? Yes, I worked. I don't work in that field anymore, and I haven't. I was a trauma nurse in the ER and an orthopedic nurse. Yes, I can do that side. Trauma, emergency medicine. I need that. We need that. And which is especially because I worked in it. When it comes down to, we talk about, there's going to be that time, not the doom and gloom of it, but there's going to be that time where help's not coming on things like that, or you get to the hospital and they don't have things to treat you. That is concerning. That's why preventive care. I'm all about preventive care and being safe when we're doing things. So, trying to avoid, yes, accidents happen. Sometimes they're unavoidable, but simple things. I mean, I'll just use this as an example. Like when I got bit by that copperhead, yes, I knew how to monitor it. Yes, I would have went in if I knew that I was getting in a danger situation. But I had the things and knowledge on hand, so I could do that at home. There's different, and I'm not telling anybody not to go to the emergency room if something like that happens. I'm just saying, if you cannot, and there comes a time, you better know to do the best you can and have the stuff and know how to use it. Make your notebooks, have things well organized, because you don't want to be scrambling in an emergency and think, oh my gosh, I wrote this down somewhere. Where is it? That's just part of that prepping. Yeah. Me too. Exactly. They are. There's no other thing for everything they're doing is evil. I mean, they have all these little sub things on, the great and everything, but the bottom line is they're evil. Yeah. Lots of that. Lots of that. Those microplastics, they've been in the oceans and fish and food stuff for a while. Until it makes enough of a problem, does it get any attention? And I think they do, like when they do pass these bills and it's like, oh, all this money for the salmon. I remember I talked about that. They're not fixing real problems. Like this whole green agenda, they're not fixing any real problems that are concerned. If that's the case, they would fix the waters. They'd fix the air. They'd fix what's going on in Ohio, what's happening in the soil. No, they that's just a front for them to put it somewhere else. And they just, it's all the fluff that they talk about. Hey, Mad Outdoorsman, I'm glad you're here. If I have missed you, I'm sorry. Drop your link down there, or Miss Sharon or somebody. Any of y'all have channels, drop them down there. I welcome that. Yeah. That is the, things You have to do. And we do what we can. We talk about this all the time. We do what we can, and then we have to leave the rest of God. But you can't drive yourself crazy because there are things we are not going to be able to, we're not going to be able to escape everything. That is part of this world we live in now. And that's why I talk about preventive care. I talk about supporting our body, your immune system. I'm about to do a video on like draining your lymph nodes, your lymphatic system naturally, how you can do that, because all of that gets taxed. And like the people in Ohio, those are things they goodness knows, protecting their liver and their lymph nodes and their kidneys, because their body is going to be in overdrive, even if they don't know it right now, because it is trying to process out so many toxins. We have to do that. Maybe what I say. What did I say, TT1? I forgot. You know how it is up here reading this. But yeah, they silence me all the time. That's what it is. I won't ever change and bend the narrative to make it on any platform. I will always be authentic, and I will call things out. Now I have to do things tactfully, and there's certain hoops I have to jump through. You know how it is, because they'll shut down, and then I can't reach anyone. But that's just how I am. That's what I'm here to call it out, and more of us need to. And I'm not talking about anyone here. All y'all know how it is, and you're in this community, so you know. Yeah. Yep. I will go down like that's. I will go down with my my boots on. Oh, bye, Snoopy. I'm sorry. I appreciate you. What about baking soda molasses? I talk about both of them. I use them. Black stripe molasses is wonderful. A lot of different reasons. I've done a video on that. Baking soda will make you alkaline. There's certain people who can't take a large amount, and make sure your baking soda is baking soda. There are certain baking sodas that can have aluminum in it. Make sure you do not do that. Aluminum is horrific for our bodies. But if you have a particular question, you can either throw it down here or send me an email, and I can talk more freely. And I do have one of my very first videos. It was about blackstrap molasses. I use that regular. I keep it. Hey, Gigi, I'm glad you're here. Yes, I've known about that for a while. What did I do a video on that? Did I do it on this? Did I do it on YouTube? That's bad. Or did I do it on LTF? I was talking about the forever chemicals, or maybe it's I know it's part of my kind of seminar stuff I'm going through right now. That's a 5-part series, and we just did part 3, so I will get all that in. But yes, it's they've actually dropped. They're not going to regulate that anymore. I'll say that. That is something new. They've put in the things and said they're not going to regulate or monitor that anymore, which is, they have got to be out of their mind. But they're not going to do anything about it anyway. So Susan, good riddance to her, but I don't think it's not going to matter who gets in there. Susan, somebody, yeah, she's gone. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to change, but she's out of there. Susan, somebody, she left. Good riddance. That's all I have to say. Hey, JR. I don't even know how far behind I am in here. Glad to see you, though. Yeah, that's why I tell people, if you can't afford buying hard copies, you write it down. Write it down, print it off, 3 ring binders, whatever you got to do. Yes, LTF. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes you can just read the description, and I usually have them in there pretty good. Duct tape is super glue. Duct tape fixes everything, right? Yeah, the Blue Bean Project. TT1. Yes. We have a good time over there. Yep, we sure did. And uh he passed from that. That's all I can say on here, really. I think all of it is. I think God put everything on here for our every need, every ailment. Um, but there's no money in that, right? So they have to, I agree. I always have the best chat. I do. I love you guys. There's so much public storage we cannot escape. That's why I talk about we're not going to be able to escape or fix or control. We just can't. That's good for different things. I um, you know, it's isn't that how we do mad outdoorsman? Just be real. Oh, well, that's just how it is. Oh, yeah. They do. Or I get strikes. I think I've had 4. I had 2 of them appealed in like 10 months. It's ridiculous, but whatever. But eventually this will all go. And then there's some that can get away, with saying more than other. Let's see what you guys say, Michael. Yeah, it is. It's really sad. And, they can't, you can have, there's certain chemicals that you like. I have a house filter. If it's not reverse osmosis or anything like that, if you're, soaking in baths, you're doing that, that absorbs through our skins and everything. And a lot of people get different, usually liver, their lymph nodes, and reproductive cancers usually come from that. And that's just the way it is, sadly. Hey, B&B hum. If I didn't see you. Yeah, I'm going to do how to drain that and different things. I'll just have to do a demonstration on to show how to do that, because more and more it's needed all across. Even if you're not in there, it's needed. We're being bombarded constantly. So I'm going to do a video kind of showing all that, how it goes. Oh, you haven't? Yeah. I always have different playlists for stuff. Let's see if I'm yeah, there's all different types. It has so many uses. Of course, I can't talk about that green on here. They'll get me for that. The medicinal purposes of that as well. I'm making sure I'm caught up. Yeah, thank you for all the links, Ms. Sharon, and anyone else you throw your links down there. Go ahead. That's right. That's what we always do. You do what you can. Thank you, T-Paul. I appreciate it. Keep those fellas in line over there. Yeah, if you have not checked out, okay, so Mad Outdoorsman, I found him because, backwoods, and I just love backwoods. Had him on there, and I saw him, and that's how I found him. And go check his channel out. He's got good stuff. Just a solid, down to earth guy. Go check him out. Especially everything that he covers and he does, the outdoorsy type things he's able to do. I don't know offhand. I mean, I've had different ones that have the filters, and then the filters can be as expensive to replace the filters as expensive as buying a new one. I don't have an exact one I recommend. No, I'm sorry, I don't. If you do, if anyone does, please drop it down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. I see. I have to sit there and watch the whole thing to make Tiger's cream cheese. I haven't done it. I'll have to try. I have a video, one of my very first videos about detoxing. It was like one of my first 5 videos. It's one of my very first ones. go check that out. If you still have questions, you can email me, and I'm gonna kind of, part of our detoxing is the lymph, is draining our lymphatic system and stuff like that. And I'm going to do a video on that. But check out, it's called I think it's called Let's Talk Detoxing or something. It's literally one of my very first ones. You have to scroll right down there. Yeah, the thing about the collecting rainwater is they're testing it. We've been talking about this, how they're is, of course, how could it not? Is evaporates all these chemicals that, well, they're spraying out or are contaminating everything, all of that. I mean, look at all the Roundup lawsuits that have been going on for so long. I mean, they find Roundup in mother's breast milk because it absorbs in everything. It's in everything. It rains on us. It's in everything. I mean, even if you you have your own garden, it's completely organic and everything. The stuff that's in the rainwater is still affecting our organic gardens. There's no way to escape it. And that's why certain things, there's no way to escape them. And that's why we got to help our body and everything. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get through here. Yep, I agree. Go check them out. Oh yeah, anytime. I appreciate you. We all need each other. We all got our parts to play, our strengths and weaknesses, and that's why I always tell people, that's why we need that community. And it's hard because we don't always know who you have to vet if that's your tribe, is what I call it. Everyone has a part to play, and we're going to need that. So I appreciate everyone. Hey, McBean. How are you? Did you sneak in here? You been lurking? You're at work. You're at work on Sunday? I feel you, though. When I was a nurse, I had to work. I tell you, nights, weekends, holidays, and every full moon, it seemed like I was on call. And I'll tell you what, you work in an ER on a full moon, and you'll know about crazy when that happens. Tanya, they're calling that a new variant. I think that is when people have these and there's an overload that comes in their body with that, and then it comes out, and then people around them can get that. I cannot say that word on here. So I can put it in the comments if they want. But that's what that is. In my opinion, that's what that is. Hey, Ken, I appreciate it. Nope, not me. I mean, there's certain, lines, like I said, we have to, how it is. But I will never bend to, I'll say what you want me to say just so I can be in here. I won't do it. I'm not going to do it. Yep, that word. I'll just put this up right here for a minute. A lot more of that. I did a video. I did it a while back on YouTube. How that one stayed up, I don't know. But again, a lot of times I'll do a video. I'm like, I'm probably going to get a hit for this, but I'm going to, hopefully enough people will hear it before that happens. And then things on Rumble. I was doing things on Rumble, and I was talking about, they were making a self-spreading one. They didn't even try to hide it. They were making it so, okay, those who don't do it, they're going to do it. It's going to get to them in another way. I've been talking about that. That has been here. And this stuff we've been seeing, I think, since about October, November. That S word. That is what's going on. So check out that video. It's on. And if you can't find it on either platform, again, you can email me. I will attach my video links on there. I mean, if you're looking for something particular, then go through my old videos to see if there's anything helpful. But if you need something, I don't mind. Now with emails, I do have tons of emails, and I will get to you. I may not get to you the same day, but I will. I answer everybody. That's what I'm talking about, TT1. Exactly. Got to. Yeah, Miss Sharon. Sharon's always on top of it. Like if I'm in here, I'm like, as soon as I can scroll through, I'm like, okay, Miss Sharon. I'm like, oh, she's my YouTube mama. That's just what it is. She may be. I mean, she's everywhere. She's a mod everywhere, but she's my mod. But yeah, I'm always like, okay, she's in here. I'm good. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of effects, and it is true. What that does, even parasites, animals, with the different things that causes, all of that. Um, it's always more during that time. That's a yeah. I mean, that's a creation. Yeah, and that's why we protect our immune system and everything like that. Yeah, you have to. You can't be, like I say, like all of us say, you can't outrun all of it. And I refuse to live in fear. You can be aware, you can be consciously aware of something, but I'd be daggone if something's going to control me with fear. I'm stubborn enough for that. Because I will not let them win in that manner. Because usually once, and that's why they do all this. If they, all of it. How do you control people? You control them with fear. You control the food. You control the people. And that's not going to happen. I'll go down fighting before that happens. Yes. And everyone loves Miss Sharon. And she is everywhere. I don't know how she does it. I mean, seriously, she'll be like mine, like 17 channels at one time and on it. Oh, it does. It'll make you achy. There's different things. There's so many different effects that can have. Tons of it. I mean, I don't have any traffic over there. People always scream about rumble, rumble, rumble. I have a fraction of the thing. It's a lot of it. I mean, it's a lot of work for me to do here, rumble, LTF, and everything else I do. And there's no traffic over there. I mean, you just kind of got to pick your battles, and it just wasn't. A lot of them will back up, and then they stop backing up, and then that was the issue. Have to go back and forth with, and I have a freedom platform that because Rumble can do things where they'll own certain copyrights to your videos. That was kind of a red flag to me. I'm just not going to chase a ton of platforms. I really don't. I truly don't have the time to chase a whole bunch. But I went over there when I first started getting hits over here, and I was in YouTube jail and everything else. I had to, but but we do what we can, right? Exactly. I mean, everything has, cycles and seasons. There's like 20, like when everyone that's part of the world you live in, everyone, if you have not keep up with things with doing parasite cleanses, your parasites, if you walk on the ground on your bare feet, which is grounding and earthing, which I highly recommend, you can get parasites. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables, food, eating out. There's so many different types, and life cycles usually go on 29-day life cycles. That's why full moons, a lot of people, animals will have more things. There's so many different reasons, but that is one of them. You do parasites in, which I always recommend food grade, diatomaceous earth, lots of different other things. I have videos on that. No, I won't move all of them because we just couldn't house it all. Certain ones I move, but not all. Not all of them. For a while, anytime I uploaded a video to YouTube, it automatically upload that video, so it would be like a safe or different platform to Rumble. And then they were having issues with that, and I wasn't the only creator. It was just constant. It was just hit and miss when they would do it, and so a lot of them are both on YouTube and Rumble, but I mean, it takes a lot of, we put money, time and everything in that, and then you don't get any views. It's hard. The traffic's just over here. I mean, I understand. That's just what it is. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you. Hey, Dark Angel. Good to see you. I'm about to wrap up in a minute so I can start. Yeah, I feed all my animals, my chickens, my dogs, my cats, all of us. Food grade. You should do that in cycles. You should always do it through full moons. That's just part of supporting our body. I mean, that's just what it is. It's good for tons of things. Black walnut. Yeah, all of black walnut is good for that. There's tons of different ones. I did not. What do you know? What type of? And Liz, thank you if I haven't seen you for that information. Do you know what type of factory it was? But it doesn't surprise me. I think it's just going to continue. And I think also if you just, I always joke, I'm going to get like behind here on my cork board, my pin board. I'm just going to put like this. I'm going to be one of those crazy people with the strings attached to all the pins, all the conspiracy theories, dare I say, or the maps of different things. Where these things are happening, the towns and cities these are happening, and it's got to be a reason for all, are they trying to push people to certain areas? I don't know. But I didn't hear. So let us know if you know what type of, and I will look it up, what type of factory it was as well. Okay, somebody asked up here about their dog, if I missed it. Oh, 70-pound dog. Anything like that, start low and slow. Just, the thing is with diatomaceous is for humans, for animals, anything, is that you would inhale it. It's a honeycomb shape. That's how it scrapes and kills parasites and our GI tract, and it gets things out. You don't ever want an animal or your person to inhale that. It will cut up your lungs. You have to be very careful with that. And so put it in like some wet food, put it in yogurt. That's really good. Plain yogurt. Okay. Stuff like that for them. So they're not inhaling that. Start low. Start with a teaspoon, and then 70 pounds. I wouldn't go over a tablespoon. And, with some people and some animals, it depends, like because it absorbs different things. It can make certain people or animals constipated. You have to drink a ton of water, and then other people, it doesn't affect them at all. I would start with a teaspoon a day, and work yourself up. Make sure you do it especially through the moon cycles. When you first start out, if you've never done a parasite cleanse with diatomaceous or your animals, you're going to want to do that in rotation cycles. You're going to want to do it. The first time you do it, unless you start feeling really bad, because anytime you treat something like that, you can also get a die-off Herxheimer reaction, which feels awful, but it's good, but it makes you feel bad until it clears out. If you start getting anything like that with any treatment, you need to back off until your body kind of gets some of those toxins out, and then you can pick back up and then work up. I wouldn't do more than, a tablespoon for them. It was a shipping container factory. Well, isn't that convenient? And thank you for looking at it. I put mine in water. Like water. Always have water. I just put mine in water. I usually do, I do a tablespoon. I don't do it every day. And I have a video. And I'm not trying to push the videos. I have a video on diatomaceous earth. I show the brand I use. I talk all the benefits, how to take it, and everything. It's in more detail as well in here. I just put mine in water. All of that. They're just, they can't even call them that anymore. They are what they are. Truth. Yeah. All of that. Roaches, you can put it anywhere. If you have chickens, you put that everywhere. Just make sure they're not, in a situation they're inhaling it, and not yourself. Be very careful how you spread that. That doesn't surprise me at all. Be careful out there. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is you have to flush that out. But I drink, I mean, I talked about before. And speaking of that, I had a bunch of people, my last live, people are like, "Are you okay? You were so red." I get like this. I get flushed, and you'll see it on my neck and some of my videos. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't feel like that. I just do that. It could be like I got too cold or too hot. It could just be, I don't know. It just, um, you know, I just do. I just get flushed and react to things. But I'm fine. People were asking me last night, "Are you okay? You were so red." I don't know. It just does that. I don't take them all the time. Um, and you don't eat a lot. They're not like, oh, I'm just having almonds or sunflower seeds or anything. That is a no topic on here. Shoot me an email, Betty, so I can go in some details with you about that if you don't mind. Yep. And that's Matt Outdoorsman. I don't know if you were in here. I don't know if you were in here early on. I was talking about it's a website that I've used for a long time. It's called windy.com. windy.com. And it and you'll get in there and you'll play around with it. You'll see all kinds of tabs on the side. You can look at different contaminants or the way that air is flowing. I look at it for all of that, but you can see if it, the jet streams or the wind where it's going circulating in your area, and it'll put different color codes on the maps because you're going to see, because I was watching to see that stuff, which I use it all the time anyways, in Ohio. Was it blowing? Which way was it blowing? What areas it's going to affect? Well, like all this is going on. Well, now it's blowing to these other states, which they know is going to do these things. It's just a helpful site, I think. See if you find it helpful for you to, if it's coming to your area. But it's called windy.com. I know. I need to get off. I need to go make dinner. Hey, Andrea. But if there's anything else, I have, I've talked about before, I have dysautonomia, and I have a problem with regulating my body temperature anyways, and I just flush very easy, or anything marks. I'm very sensitive to, I just do that. I've always been that way. My kiddos are that way. It just happens. It just, no reason at all. Something, it could be I was exposed to some type of scent or chemical. I'll get red like that. It just reacts. But I'm fine. Yep. Thanks, Miss Sharon. Oh, welcome. So is there anything else? I'm going to wrap up because, like I said, I got to go. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you being in here, and all the help. All of y'all are so helpful and helping each other out and being there for each other. That is what it is all about. Hey, thank you, Pilgrim. But I'm wrap this up. Y'all keep doing the things. Keep fighting the good fight. Don't let this mess scare you. Do what you can. Do your part. And, we get through it. And I will see you guys next time. Everybody be safe.